to this orientation session for the 37th World Conference. It is a pleasure to have so many of you joining us. As you know, the World Conference was postponed from 2020 due to the global pandemic and is taking place online this year. I am sure all member organizations can join the conference planning team and the World Board in being sorry that we were not able to meet in Uganda as originally planned. It has been a long journey, and we appreciate all your efforts and understanding as we plan the first online World Conference. There are unique challenges in delivering an online conference compared to a physical one. We have had to adapt the way we are working and find innovative ways of engaging with each other. We had to shorten the program and the agenda, making the focus of the conference governance only. Although we recognize that it may not be perfect, the planning team has worked very hard to deliver an exciting virtual World Conference to give you a wonderful opportunity to connect with WAGs and each other and discuss the future for the movement. We are also thrilled to have the Evensia platform active from now until the World Conference finishes to engage and connect with each other. We will explain how to navigate the platform later in this session. It is also amazing to see how many participants and member organizations have registered to attend the conference. It is the first time we have 1,300 participants registered from 128 member organizations. The World Conference Week will take place from Tuesday 27 July to Saturday 31st July. I will repeat, Tuesday 27 July to Saturday 31st July. During this week, there will only be 2 plenary sessions of 90 minutes each per day with a 30-minute break in between. In addition to these plenary sessions, we have also organized a number of pre-conference online discussion sessions. Everything you need before and during the World Conference will be available on this platform. All the sessions will be delivered in all 4 WAGs official languages. To change the language you need to, expand the session information tab you will find on the right side of the video player. Click on the Interprefy link and a new browser tab with Interprefy platform will open. Interprefy is the company we are using for the interpretation. Then select the language from the drop-down menu and go back to Evensia browser tab. Please do not close the Interprefy tab. The audio will come from this tab, and I will repeat this. Please do not close the Interprefy tab. The audio will come from this tab. Finally, mute the Evensia player from the button you will find at the bottom left side of the player. It is very important that all of you select a language, so you will only listen to the content in that language. Today, we will explain to you how to navigate the platform and its features. We will also be covering all procedural and practical aspects to ensure that the conference goes as smoothly as possible. At the end of the session, head delegates will also have the chance to do a few test votes, so please have your voting login details close. I now invite Aina Fontanella to give you a brief explanation on what you can do in this platform.
Hi everybody, thanks Rushira. My name is Aina. I'm the events manager for WAGs, and I've been working with the planning team to organize this exciting virtual World Conference for all of you. I will now give you some information on how to use this. On this platform, you'll find everything you need to take part in the World Conference, including the live conference sessions, the conference documents, the ability to chat with other conference participants, and also access an exhibition space. All of you should have already received a personalized link via email. Every time you want to access the platform, you will need to click on this link, and it will sign you in automatically and give you access to the platform. So please do not lose this email. If you can't find it for any reason, send an email to woco@wax.org, and then we will be able to help you. So when you're clicking the link for the first time, the platform will ask you to be given access to your microphone and camera. Please accept. The platform will also check your internet speed. So if you are a head delegate and you are having internet connectivity issues, please contact the World Conference Planning team at woco@wax.org so we can help you. Once you've done this, a pop-up will appear where you can set up your personalized profile and settings. Please complete all the fields and upload a picture of yourself so the other delegates and participants can recognize you. You will see that there is an option to change the time zone, but we have found that on some devices, if you change this, it creates some complications. So we recommend that you leave this option as use the browser time zone. Once you have done all these changes, please click Update to go to the main page of the platform. You can always come back to the settings by clicking on your initials on the top right of the platform. So the platform is now live and will be every day leading up to the World Conference. Between now and the 27th of July, we will be adding all the documents and modules, so it might not be fully populated yet. You will be able to explore its functionalities very soon. So what you will be able to do is, for example, check out the exhibition space where you will find all the World Board candidates' profiles, the videos from the next World Conference leading member organizations, an information desk to ask any questions, and other information about WAX and its projects. You can already try networking with other participants through the Meeting Hub space. You can chat with them, schedule meetings, or even have video calls with them. We will also add a document library section where you will be able to find all the conference documents. Remember to read them before the World Conference so you are fully prepared. Via the agenda space, you will be able to find all the sessions. This is the space where you will need to click to join the button to any live session. So during the World Conference, click on the Join button to join any session. Please note that some of the pre-engagement sessions will be taking place on Zoom, but you will still need to join this session through the platform by clicking the Join button. Once you have clicked the Join button, then Zoom will automatically open on your device. During the conference week, you will be able to network with different people on a speed networking session. Speed networking sessions are 10-minute sessions where you will be placed in a group of 5 other participants who are also taking part. This is an opportunity for you to meet new people from across the movement to share and learn. Participants who have attended the OVPS event found that the speed networking sessions were really, really useful. These sessions will be taking place every day for 1 hour before the conference starts and for 1 hour after it finishes. If you want to join these networking sessions, like the plenary sessions, all you need to do is click the Join button in the agenda. You must have your camera and microphone turned on to be able to fully participate in these networking sessions. During the World Conference plenary sessions, you will also need to have your camera turned on if you want to speak. This platform operates differently than Zoom. We are able to have a backstage room for upcoming speakers. So this allows for smoother presentations. So when you're in a session, you will have the speaker on the screen, and anyone else who is not speaking will be in the audience without being heard or seen by other participants. However, if you want to speak, you will need to raise your hand by clicking the raise hand icon, and a member of our technical team will put you into the backstage room before being placed in the screen. It is therefore mandatory to have your camera turned on to be able to be placed on the screen and speak. In the session, on the right side of the screen, you will have different sections with information and functionalities. You will be able to see the session information, change the language, connect with other participants through the chat, and ask questions using the Q&A section. You will also find all the documents needed for that session. If you have any problems to join a session, you can use the live support that you will find on the top right side of the agenda. The voting will also take place within the platform, and we will explain how it works later on this session. If you have any questions or problems with the platform, please make sure to send us an email at woco@wax.org.
Thank you, Aina. I now invite Fiona Lejon and Gwen Lee to introduce the conference team and explain the rules of procedure. Fiona and Gwen.
Take the floor in French. My name is Fiona. I'm coordinating procedures, actually. So thank you, Ruchira, for giving me the floor. The formal sessions of the World Conference are directed and organized by different people with very specific roles. I'll start by introducing the part played by the president of the conference, who is supported by two deputy presidents or vice presidents, if you like. So, the president and her two vice presidents have the following parts. Their role is to make sure that basically all the agenda of the conference unfolds smoothly. They also forward all the procedural questions to the procedural team, and they also have a decision power on all the procedural issues. This team, of which I'm a member as well as Gwen, and generally speaking, our team is basically responsible for all the procedural aspects of the conference. So more precisely, our team helps the World Organization, member organization, to better understand the rules and procedures, and also looks after the smooth operation of the conference, as well as the compliance with the rules of procedure before as well as during the World Conference. And its role is also to then draft a report of all the decisions adopted by the World Conference. Now, about the tellers. Our procedure team is supported for all technical aspects regarding voting by a so-called telling team. Their part is to count all votes cast. They communicate or report the results of all votes cast to the conference chair. The latter, so the conference chair as well as the vice presidents and the tellers, will then be nominated or validated by the member organizations during the opening session on the very first day of the World Conference. Now, concerning the rules of procedure themselves, the World Conference unfolds according to a set of rules called the Rules of Procedure. These were circulated in a document that was sent out to you on the Wednesday, 26th of May, 2021, after a consultation period of 2 months with the different member organizations. The rules of procedure explain how the formal affairs of the World Conference should take place. And all member organizations need to obviously approve those rules of procedure during the very same opening session of the World Conference. During the opening session, we shall also endorse the list of the member organizations who are actually sitting and participating to this conference. And then to celebrate the fact that we're finally gathering, be it only online, we will then roll call one by one, then by name, all the member organizations of this World Conference, and then we'll also project on screen the flag of your respective countries. Then you will have the chance to publish in the chat. So this is the discussion forum that you're already and able to use a little welcome message to all participants. Moreover, we're also inviting you to take a picture of yourself or your delegation during the World Conference with an identity card referring to your country, and to circulate that picture on the Facebook page of the World Conference. The formal list of all member organizations attending, that is those represented during the World Conference by their chief delegates, will be established by the tellers through a specific platform function. So we should not need to confirm this orally. The chair of the conference will then announce if the quorum has been reached for the conference to start. Now, conference participants, each member association, fully fledged member or associate organization, will register a head delegate, a delegate, and up to 10 observers. Then we shall also have some guest speakers potentially, and WAG's global team members, including staff members, as well as members of the commissions of the WAGs, and, as I mentioned before, guests, including former members of the World Council, some honorary members, as well as representatives from the associations, basically, and members of the Olaf Baden-Powell Society. The chief delegates will represent their respective member organizations and speak on their behalf, so they're expected to turn up at all World Conferences. The head delegate has the extra charge to vote on behalf of her member organization. Now, we're going to check the content of most of the sessions of this World Conference, that's to say, motions and amendments voting. So, in guise of reminder, a proposed motion is a suggested proposal that is open for discussion by the World Conference. A proposed amendment is a suggested change to a proposed motion. Both of these were circulated in your document 3B. As you know, both motions and amendments have already been submitted before the conference. However, there is still a chance for you to suggest further motions on specific subjects. Indeed, the new motions cannot concern statutes or extra regulations or even termly politics or adhesion conditions, as well as financial policy of the WAGs. Yes, you can suggest an amendment during the conference, but provided it is not on the constitutional motions already circulated. Amendments can only concern non-constitutional motions from number 11 to number 23, in other words. In any case, it is important to write down the deadline by which you can submit such motions or amendments. The last toll basically is the Monday 27th of July at 3 p.m. UTC. In order to introduce a new motion or amendment before then, you can write to the following address appearing on your screen, proceduralteam@wags.org. So the member organizations are reminded that you should also take into consideration, of course, the time lag from one geographical region to another in order to respect the deadline. Thank you for making allowance for all of that. And in any event, trying to send your motions or amendments as early on as possible in order to favor our work. During this World Conference, we shall present and discuss the above said motions and amendments. So after presentation by the member or the organization who is putting this motion forward, this is, of course, an opportunity for you to explain the justification and the reasoning lying behind this motion and the desired impact and scope of it, of course. But you will be given a maximum of 3 minutes to do that. If that motion is introduced or put forward by more than a single organization at the same time, these organizations should agree beforehand on who should propose it on their behalf in the name of all of them. As was the case in the previous conferences, the president of the conference will then invite a representative of WAGS in order to respond to it. That should also not last longer than 3 minutes. Then the president shall open the fire. Basically, every member organizations will be able to take the floor for a maximum of 3 minutes. Then the head delegate or the delegate of a member organization will need to press the raise hand button in order to take the floor, as you can see on the screen presently. If you wish to take the floor during the discussion of the motions, you will then be sent to the backstage of that main platform. And only when the chair invites you to speak will you appear on the main screen in order to speak up. Thank you for writing down that if you wish to speak during a session, you should obviously have your camera switched on. It is the chair of the session who will decide when to end this discussion. And then when you take the floor about a motion, please again take into account this deadline constraint, because this is part of our joint responsibility to make sure that as many opinions as possible can be voiced and heard on and around the subject of a motion. During the conference, you can also ask a set of questions regarding procedural matters directly to the procedure team. How can you do so? You have to draft your question in the questions and answer part during a live session. Outside such a live session, you will also have a chance to ask your question in what we call the information desk that lies in the exhibition space of the platform. I shall now give the floor to Gwen.
Evening, everybody. I'm Gwen, one of the procedural team members for this year's World Conference. I'm from Malaysia.
Oui, bonjour, mon nom est Gwen. Donc, c'est évidemment un aspect très important que celui des votes. Donc, et c'est le moment d'exprimer vos visions ou vos opinions sur cet aspect tout à fait crucial des choses. Toutes les organisations n'ont pas un droit de vote sur tous les sujets, par exemple.
Change the WAGS constitution and bylaws and elect the World Board members. Both full and associate members can vote on the bids to host the next World Conference and the non-constitutional motions and amendments. If the registered head delegate is unable to attend the conference or unable to cast their vote for another reason, the member organization should notify the procedure team coordinator, Fiona, who spoke to you just now, before the voting session begins. So when voting on motions and amendments, you can choose one option between for, against, or abstain. Abstain means you do not want to express an opinion. As much as possible, we would like to encourage the head delegate to take part in all votes. If you do not wish to express an opinion, then you can select abstain. For the World Board elections, you will be asked to select up to 6 candidates from the 14 names listed. You can select less than 6 candidates if you wish, or abstain if you do not wish to vote. Please note that if you select more than 6 candidates, your vote will not be counted. So please check carefully before submitting your vote. Once the votes have been counted, the 6 highest scoring candidates will be announced in alphabetical order. The approved persons will be filled by the candidates receiving the 7th and the 8th highest votes. There will be a final ratification vote by simple majority to ratify the new members of the World Board and the approved persons. It's possible that a tied vote may occur in the World Board elections. In this situation, a new round shall take place between the candidates who have received the same number of votes before the ratification vote. And then for the vote on the bids to host the next World Conference, you will be asked to select one member organization from the list of our bidding member organizations. If no bid receives a simple majority, a further round of voting will take place between the 2 bids which received the highest number of votes in the first round. In this situation, you will again be invited to select one member organization from the list of 2 bidding member organizations. Then, in the case of a proposed motion suggesting changes to the Constitution and bylaws, such as proposed motions 1 to 10, only full members can vote, and the majority required for the motion to pass is 75%. This means that 75% or more of those who have cast a vote for or against must have voted in favor for the motion to pass. Abstentions are not counted as part of this calculation. For all other votes on motions and amendments, the majority is a simple majority, which means that it needs a majority of more than half of the votes cast for or against. In the event of a tied vote, the motion or amendments is not carried. When a proposed motion is not likely to be opposed, the vote may take place by general consent. In this situation, the chair says, if there is no objection, the members show agreement by their silence. If an objection is raised, the chair will ask for a counted vote. In this World Conference, if a member organization wishes to object, they should do so by using the raise hand function on the platform at the appropriate time. Proposed amendments will be voted before the proposed motion they relate to. If one or more amendments to a motion are passed or carried, then they are incorporated into the original motion, which is then put to the vote in its amended form. If a proposed amendment is not carried, the original proposed motion is then put to the vote. Here are some questions that your member organization delegation should consider in advance. Do we agree with the motion? Do we agree with the amendment? Will we vote for the motion if it's amended? Or will we vote for the motion if it's not amended? So when you discuss, when you look at the motion, ask those questions first. We are now going to do a few test votes. If you are a head delegate, please take part in the test vote. At the appropriate time, we'll put a link to each vote in the chat box. Clicking on this link will take head delegates to another window where they will be asked to log into the voting portal with their email address and unique password. This will only be accessible to head delegates. Please keep your login details close to you during the conference. Once you have entered your details, the proposed motions will appear and you will be invited to vote for, against, or abstain. Select your preferred option and click Submit. You will receive a message saying, "Thank you," which means your vote has been registered. You can then close that window. So all the head delegates have your information, login detail ready. So let's try our first vote. We will be voting on pretend motion, motion A. Do we have the link already? So you will able to see the link at the discussion forum for all the head delegates. So voting is now open. Head delegates, please now click on the link for test survey 1 and follow the steps to cast your vote. The link is at the discussion forum if you're still not able to see it. This may take a few minutes, so we ask you to be patient during this time. I can see some advice going on the discussion forum. So head delegates, please make your way there. So other than discussion forum, you can also find the link under the session information. We will give another, let's say, 30 seconds. And if you haven't, for head delegates, if you haven't voted, voting is now closed. We will now count the votes. This may also take a few minutes, and thank you for your continued patience. During World Conference, the result will be announced by the chair. But for today, I will share the results with you of the test votes later once it's done. During World Conference, we'll also try to have some exciting video content to share during the time when votes are being counted. Yeah, I didn't want to sing while we are counting the vote because it might rain. So maybe this is a good time if you need a cup of water. We have been sitting around for maybe 45 minutes in. Yeah, so rehydration is always good.
When maybe you can consider doing a dance.
So I would like to share with you the result of the voting. I can now confirm the results of the vote. Those voting for, 10. Those voting against, 1. Those abstaining, 1. The motion needs a 75 majority and has passed. Thank you for those voted. So now we have had a first go. Let's try it again to make sure we feel comfortable with the process. So we'll be voting on another pretend motion. Pretend motion, motion B. You will see a link to the pretend motion B very soon. I think I see the link posted in the discussion forum. And voting is now open. My apology that I forget to announce it. And head delegates, please now click or copy the link and then follow the steps and cast your vote. Thank you.
While you are voting, and in the meantime, may I answer one of the questions which was shared in the discussion forum? So there are currently 17 head delegates in the session, which means that there are 17 people who are able to vote, who have voting rights. However, in the first test vote, I believe only 12 votes were cast. And this is also to remind you that, as you can read in the rules of procedures, the majority is counted on vote casts. So as Gwen said, for the previous test vote, for example, out of 12 votes cast, 10 enough for a 75% majority. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you, Fiona. For pretend motion, motion B, the voting is now closed. We will now count the votes. So we have the result of the vote. Those voting for is 10. Those voting against, 1. Those abstaining, 1. This vote needed simple majority. So this motion has passed. Thank you. So hope you have some experience in voting, and then when we come to the real vote, we can do it faster and smoother. So great that we have tried out the pretend motion. It is also good to test on how to vote, how the voting for the elections and the bits work. So as mentioned earlier, for the election of the World Board candidates, head delegates will be asked to select up to 6 candidates from the 14 names listed. We are going to do a test by asking you to vote for your 6 favorite flavors of ice cream from a selection of 14 different options. How exciting. Yeah, so we're waiting for the link to be posted, and then we're able to select our favorite flavor of ice cream. I can now see the vote. The link is on the discussion forum. Head delegates, the voting is now open. Thank you for all of you that been giving feedback and letting us know that whether or not the link is work or not. I guess this is a really good trial session. The voting is now closed. We will not count the votes today, so we can keep our favorite ice cream flavor a little secret, stay a little secret today. But as mentioned earlier, for the vote to select the host, my bad. We'll, as I mentioned just now, we will not announce the result of this one today. It is actually for your practice, and then now we are going to move on to another exercise, which is to vote to select the host to the next World Conference. So in this selection, the head delegates will be asked to select one from for this one. We were going to ask you to vote for preferred method of transport from a selection of 4 different options. So we're just waiting for the link to come in. So the link is here, and I hope this one around work for everyone. While the head delegates is voting, just would like to share that for the bits of the host of the next World Conference, the head delegates will be asked to select one from a list of 4 member organizations. This is during the World Conference. But today, for this exercise, the head delegates will be asked to vote for the preferred method of transport from a selection of 4 different options. Voting is now closed, and we will not count the votes for this one either today. Thank you very much for participating in the test votes. If you have had any problems with the voting, please send an email to rollcall@wax.org. So I see some question on the chat. Just wondering whether or not one of the staff member or the planning team member will be answering. Yeah, I saw the answer also already. Thank you very much. And then, well, like I said just now, if you have any problems just now for the voting email, please send an email to rollcall@wax.org. And then if you're feeling lost, don't worry. The procedural team is here to help. So Fiona and myself, and also we have 2 more members that you'll meet, who is Sana and also Amy, in the World Conference. So before the World Conference, email us at any time at proceduralteam@wax.org. And during the World Conference, if you have any question, you can always use the FAQ system on the platform. So thank you again for participating in the voting test. And I believe Ruchira will come back to the main stage very soon.
For that session, and also thank you very much to everyone who worked behind the scenes, Nicola, Aina, and the people who worked as tellers and the support teams. Thank you very much. At this point, Aina, do we have to answer any questions? Yeah. Does Aina want to come onto the stage and say it? Or okay, right. Right, okay. So, in order to ensure that everyone can properly take part in the conference and feels respected throughout the online event, we suggest that we follow these rules. Be respectful, tolerant, and considerate of others. Treat everyone equally. Recognize your own right to freedom of expression and that of all other participants. Do not engage in any abusive or inappropriate behavior. Comply with all elements of the conference procedures and WAG's policies and follow the directions of the chair. Recognize your duty to report any potential violation of this code during the World Conference. Speak slowly and clear. Thank you everyone for participating in today's session. If you have any questions after today's session or need support with the platform, please contact the conference planning team or the procedural team. We hope you enjoy exploring the platform in the coming weeks and making use of its exciting features. We look forward to seeing you at the upcoming pre-conference events as well as the opening of World Conference in just over 3 weeks. So that's all from us. Thank you and goodbye.